This episode is brought to you by Elite Maison, sponsoring beautifully curated luxury furniture available to purchase to elevate your home. Discover timeless pieces discovered to transform your space at elitemaison.com. Hello, lovely people. This is Nicole.
And this is Samantha.
With the power of we are here to switch it up and teach you about business, relationships, and how to not only survive, but make it in Los Angeles.
In each episode, we will have top influential guests from the world of real estate. We work hard,
We stage hard.
and we get it done.
The power of we.
Hey, boo-boo.
Hello, how are you?
I am good, but I'm so emotional yesterday. I seriously can't even stand it.
Yeah,
I
you have
had-
been really emotional, but I've been thinking about how important it is to be able to let your emotions out because I hate doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But, I think this wise woman would say to me, she'd be like, "You're very sensitive." I'm like, "I'm not sensitive, trust me." And yesterday when I went to stage for that woman that was homeless.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And then I'm going to cry now.
Yeah.
And then I just helped her. The energy
Yeah.
made me just beyond yesterday. I had to go to bed early.
Yeah, well, you going to bed early. But it's so nice to help people
Yes.
and give back.
I
think
mean, that's what we love to do, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
our guest today is all about giving back.
That's for sure.
Camilla Sacre-Dallerup is a life coach, best-selling author, hypnotherapist, and founder of the wellness app Zen Me. A former professional dancer known for Strictly Come Dancing and as head judge on Dancing with the Stars New Zealand, she has transitioned into leading voice and personal growth, specializing in mindset, hypnosis, and meditation to help individuals align their subconscious and conscious mind. Her debut book, Dream, Believe, Succeed, shares lessons from her dance career and personal growth journey, followed by Reinvent Me, an 8-step life transforming program. And It's Not You, It's Me, which focuses on self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-love, and self-care. To learn more or work with Camilla, visit www.zenme.tv or download the Zen Me app for meditations or courses. Welcome, Camilla!
Before we get started with all that woo-woo stuff, you know me. I mean, I'm going to say I was the first that you met here in LA, right?
Yeah, my very
And she
first.
was so woo. I was like, this girl is absolutely insane. I thought you just wanted to be my friend.
Yeah, first client, first friend.
And how'd
Yeah.
you guys meet?
Right, both friend and client. You just dropped into my life, and this
Yeah.
is where we just know that the minute I met you, you were like, "We're gonna be friends," and I'm like, "I've just arrived in LA. I don't even know if I'm staying." And here we are, 12 years on.
For sure, you were going to be my friend. And I met you through someone that was
Another
on
friend.
Dancing with the Stars. I like this part of her life. It was a celebrity, super cool. In fact, she even went to New Zealand to be a judge, and I was so excited about that. I wanted to go, but it was during pandemic. And trust me, I would have gone and been like the first person in the audience. That's my friend.
Yeah, something wasn't quite right that you never got to do that with me, because I
It
feel like
was
you've been part
crazy.
of such a big part of my journey, just like I have with
Yeah.
both of you, which is so unique. And by the way, I'm loving the new studio for the
Thank
podcast.
you.
It's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I really want to talk about what your life was like prior to this big, we'll call it evolution in your mindset, and how you transitioned into spirituality. Because as being in, Dancing with the Stars and having that celebrity status, I think is such a different transition. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's interesting because in some parts it feels like I've returned home within.
Yeah.
And it sort of felt like a shift from the external to the internal, where everything that was sort of like my accomplishment was very external.
Right.
And it left me feeling, although very grateful, also quite empty.
Yeah.
Suddenly I found myself very empty, stuck, lost, sort of just before my 40s. And I was like, okay, there's something that needs to really shift here.
Right.
And that's when I left the previous career behind and really transitioned into what is my passion in life. I know that I am home in my career because I love it beyond, seeing clients, working with the subconscious mind. But when I look back to when I was younger, that was always my passion, sort of motivational quotes, inspirational kind of woo-woo stuff, the moon, the full moon, like all of that I've always loved.
I have a question for you though. When you were dancing, you guys were always winning. Did you use these practices back then and someone help you? Because you didn't just know how to do this.
No. So that was like an evolution for me through my career. I was very lucky. At 13 years old, I met a coach who had come from the cycling world into the dancing, and he was all about mindset.
Interesting.
And he introduced me to the power of visualization. And really, for me, the rest was history after that, because he taught me that if you can visualize something, it's a brain hack, a mind hack, really. The mind doesn't know the difference between imagining something going right and it actually happening for real. So when I realized that, oh, hang on a minute, I can rehearse my steps before I'm even in the rehearsal room, I can get ahead here. This is like amazing.
Yeah.
And so I used the visualization all the way through my career. And then I worked with sports psychologists, I worked with energy coaches, and really started to understand the power of the mind. And I would say my career and the success was down to 60% mindset, 40% dancing.
That's incredible.
That's what I believe for me anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think
that's crazy.
that I was any more special than anybody else in terms of my dancing or my training, but I think I really understood the power of the mind.
Do you think a lot of people in athletics use this to win?
Yes, since 2012 Olympics, I think it's something that's been talked about every time there's an Olympics, more and more and more, and especially the recent Olympics, the Winter Olympics, it was talked about a lot. How it can really affect you in a positive way, your mental state, and and negatively too, if there's things that you haven't faced. And I work with a lot of, CEOs, but I also work with a lot of athletes, and it's amazing to be able to pass it on, having lived it myself. I just love.
I'm gonna cry thinking about it, because honestly, if it wasn't for you, I would not be where I am today. Honestly, I mean, I've learned so much, and being a CEO and helping people is not easy. It's not easy at all. It takes so much strength. It takes, precision. It takes patience, which I do not have.
It's getting better.
Yeah, it is getting better.
It's getting better.
I don't even know why. Maybe because I'm getting older.
The meditation, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, if you're a CEO and you feel stuck, having a life coach is changed my world for sure. But let's go back to the subconscious.
Yeah.
Because that is such an important topic that I knew nothing about. And I was like, what are you talking about, weirdo?
It's true.
So tell us about it.
My favorite fact really is the fact that the subconscious mind runs our lives 95% of the time. Now, I work with a lot of fabulous, intelligent clients, right? And they'll come to me and they'll say, Camilla, I know this is what's going on. I know, I've read 100 self-help books. They know it all, right? On that level. But what's happening often is that the subconscious mind is running patterns from childhood, things from when you were 6, 9, 10, and that's interfering sometimes. We need to kind of bridge the gap between the subconscious and the conscious sometimes. And that's kind of my niche. That's what I do every single day. So it's through coaching, hypnosis, meditation, even the way we speak to ourselves, words of affirmations, our self-talk, all of that is direct orders to the subconscious mind. So imagine that you have all of these patterns running in the subconscious, but they're not up to date. What makes me laugh is the fact that we go like this on our phones, right? Update. We never read the small print, right? But our minds, we think, no, do you know what? I'm good with the pattern from when I was 8. That seems really good when I'm sat in the boardroom,
But people don't even know that they're doing that. That's what I'm saying. I can see some people that I work with, they're stuck in the old views. And that same story is going over and over. I hear it from them 100 times. I'm I already heard you say that 50 times.
How do you think people gain awareness of that before they even get to the hypnosis part?
The first chapter in my latest book is Not You, It's Me. It's self-awareness, because that's really where we start. And I always say that. So that's why when people work with me the first time, it's not like I just go, close your eyes, you're going to do hypnosis now, right? We need to become aware of some of the patterns and the triggers.
Right.
sometimes it starts with, do you know, I was really triggered the other day because XYZ. And
Right.
then we go from there and we understand, well, what's being triggered? Why? What is the old pattern? When did that start? So it all starts with self-awareness. And I always say through the coaching, we expand our consciousness and our awareness.
Yeah.
When we have an awareness, it's step one to going, oh, okay, I understand. Now we can change it. Now we can create a new neural pathway.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's talk about my favorite topic, being sensitive. You would drive me crazy with that. Why do you always surround yourself with sensitive people? I'm like, I don't know. It drives me nuts. Talk about that.
So I'm a highly sensitive person. It's 20% of the population that is highly sensitive.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of clients who are sensitive, and just it's a really great thing, because in my job it means that I can connect on a really great level with my clients, because sensitive people, we hear everything that's never said. So that means you walk into a room and you're feeling it. It also means that it can be an amazing gift, but it can also be depleting, right? So for me, having a friend like you who is not affected whatsoever is like a great, like amazing, almost like protective buffer, right? And I think for you like my perspective because I'm coming from a different place. So
it's
like a yin
definitely
and yang,
different,
right?
for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. So we need each other, and this is the
And
same.
Nicole's highly sensitive.
Yeah.
Right. So I can, now that you brought that up, I could start to understand certain
Right,
things
yeah.
about her
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that people are aware of it, because like I think with our society, like you're told you have to keep going, and or at least like that was my like whole brain pattern of like you have to keep going, you need to go to the gym, this, that, and you can't take time for yourself and like just relax because it seems like you're being lazy.
Right.
But then
Yeah.
now, like after doing a lot of work, like after a long day of work and working out, like I used to still feel like, oh, I can't just relax. Now I'm
Right.
like, okay, I need to be alone. I need no sound because I know I'm highly sensitive.
Yeah.
And if I've been around too many people or something, I
Yeah.
have to like stay in tune with my energy.
That is
Right.
definitely not me. I
No.
like to go,
Yeah.
go.
Well, because you get stimulated by
Yes,
being around noises and
exactly.
people. We get depleted
Yes.
if we don't have the tools to replenish.
Right.
And
And
you know, what I mean?
when there's partners together, like I'm super hyper and Fernando's sensitive, he likes to take his time out. At the beginning, I was like, what's wrong with him? Like it takes time to understand each other.
Yes.
What do you say to people that are going through that?
I think communication is everything, whether that's in your family relationships, your love relationships, your career. I have learned one thing working with so many couples over the years and teams, you know, and that is it's never really what's said that's the problem. It's all the stuff that you never say.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Say that again. That was
Okay?
amazing.
It's not what is said that's the problem. It's all the stuff that's never said.
And why is that?
Because I have found that human beings are quite resilient and people can handle the truth. But what we do is we'll say something else and then we'll think she's going to work it out. He'll work it out what I mean. No, nobody's going to work anything out. You just got to tell them.
Right.
Such
Do you
a
know
good
what I
point.
mean?
Yeah.
So when I have couples in front of me and I'll say, but what do you really want to say? So they'll say, well, I told them I want them to do the dishes or I want them to do this or that. I said, but what did you really want to say? I feel unsupported. Oh, so it's not about the dishes.
Right.
You feel unsupported.
Right.
It's
Where does
about
that
breaking
show up?
it down.
And why
Right.
do you think people are scared to communicate?
Fear of losing someone. Fear of
That's
exactly
exactly
something.
it. Yeah.
From like childhood? Usually like
could be anything,
It could go
right?
back
It
to
could be anything.
subconscious, right?
Yeah, but it could be anything. So I think I always say I learned these words some years ago, and they really are true, I think, when it comes to boundaries. The only people who have a problem with you setting a boundary are the people who benefited from you not having any.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So we can't set a boundary and have a fear of losing at the same time. If I set a boundary, I'm going to have to accept that you might not be okay with that boundary. And if you're not okay, I'm going to have to be willing to say, well, then this doesn't work for me.
Right.
And that's a tough one for people because they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I kind of want to have them. Do you want the boundary or do you want to have them in your life? Because sometimes they works out
Yep.
and they will still be in your life if they're your person, if they
But
love you.
sometimes it doesn't.
But sometimes it doesn't. You got to be willing to let that go.
Yeah. Interesting.
Speaking of discipline, girl, I don't even know what to say about you. Since I met you, you were disciplined. I get it because you were a dancer and all of that. But she's like, oh yeah, I'm writing a book. Oh yeah, I'm writing another book. I'm like, you never even wrote a book. Where are you getting all these? And how can you sit there for so long and write a book? She can
I remember at the
now she has
Palazzo.
3 books, and let me tell you, this is one of my favorite books. She doesn't like it because it's
the first
2.
one?
This is her first book, super beautiful, and she changed the cover. I was so mad at her. By the way,
Did you write this in the Palazzo at the pool? Why
Yes.
I have a
When I
visual.
first
moved here.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know this one.
Yeah.
I don't know this person.
No, you don't.
I don't know her,
No.
but I really wanted to know her. That's why I wanted to go
Yeah.
to New Zealand and do Dancing
Yeah.
with the Stars. But
She
one
was okay.
time
She was
we
okay.
did go shopping, and I made her try on dresses like this for Dancing with the Stars, and she gave them away.
I think
Actually,
Nicole ended
me.
up wearing some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
But I
Wait,
want
let's
wait.
talk
I want to
about-
ask
you-
the question.
you wanna talk about discipline.
If someone wants to train that disciplined mind,
Yeah.
where do you start? Please tell us.
Well, you know what? Discipline isn't something we necessarily are like born with or is just for some people. Discipline is a decision that you make something a priority and then you break it down and you figure it out. So I didn't know how to write a book, let alone 3 books.
Yeah.
But I decided that why was it going to be any different than me learning how to, let's say, learn a dance? So I started to just think about it, like chunking it down, breaking it down. So I was like, well, what can I do? Well, I can just get all my thoughts out and get them on paper. Why don't I just go from there? Then I can hire someone and they could go through it with me and we can start to sort of separate it into chapters. So step by step. Discipline is a decision that you make, that you care about something so much that you're going to make it a priority and then you're going to show up for it. This is keywords. You're going to show up for it even on the days you don't want to. That is discipline and it's a decision that you make. And I help so many of my clients when they sort of fall off the path, as they tell me, you know, because one thing goes and then 5 things goes and suddenly they're off their path, right? To just come back to the path again. Okay, but what are some of the anchors that keeps you being like motivated and inspired to do your thing? And sometimes that is rest time, sometimes it's exercise, it's some of these things that help us then show up for the other things and be disciplined. Let me just be very clear, sitting still to write those books was so hard for me. Like, can you imagine? I spent 35 years on the move,
Yeah.
dancing and moving. Suddenly I had to sit still. It was.
Yeah.
I was on the floor sometimes going, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then again, I showed up even the days I didn't want to. And I did it because I wanted to help people through my words. I felt I had tools and things to share
Yeah.
that could benefit other people in like difficult times.
So basically, you learned that from your early on, and you were dancing with who? Who were you dancing with that helped you do all this?
You mean my dance partners
Yeah.
for life? I don't know if any of my dance partners helped me as much as my mom. My mom has a really strong like work ethic, and she taught me
Your
that.
mom is so cute, by the way.
She's so like you. And so, but I think I probably went the other way. Like Nicole was saying, it was hard
Yeah.
for me to even give myself permission to take a day off. That's something I had to learn. And since then have really been able to share that with my clients, because
Yeah.
a lot of people feel that thing. If I sit
Right.
down, I'm lazy.
Yeah.
But I always say an athlete's mindset, right? And when you're an athlete, you know that rest day is as important as everything else you do. And
Good
so I
point.
said, just anchor on an athlete. They have to have a rest day
Yeah.
to perform at that level.
Right.
It's important.
That's crazy. Well, I know you're gonna say no, but is there any way you're gonna do Dancing with the Stars again?
No. It feels
You know,
like
I love to bug you about that.
it feels like a different version of myself.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I also just feel like, hey, permission to evolve.
Yes.
Because I work with a lot of clients who hit that point like I was at, where my job, my career was my identity.
Right.
I was Camilla the dancer.
Yeah.
Right.
And for 35 years of my life, that fitted beautifully.
Right.
And one day it just didn't anymore.
Yeah.
Permission to move on.
Yes.
Even
Yeah.
though it was
I love
everything
that. I love that.
knew.
I love that because so many times people that want to change whatever they're doing in their life, they feel guilt about that, right?
I did too.
And
I did
they
too.
don't know what to do. They're feeling
right.
guilty. They don't want to tell their partner, their mother, their
That's right.
brother,
Yeah.
whatever. And permission for yourself. That's perfect.
And by the way, the guilt, I felt really bad for my parents because they had invested so much into my career.
Right.
You know, and it was like, how is this going to affect our relationship? Like, I was that person. I was sort of living that dream for all of us too. And we have shared the most amazing moments through that. So that took some time to really come into acceptance of that's not who I am anymore.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And they get to know the other version. And now we go on different journeys. You know what I mean? So, I felt the guilt. And I also just want to say, when you switch careers in life, it's a journey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
I'm
start
sure.
small. Like, start with whatever you need to do, step by step.
Yeah, that's true, because when you got here, I was like, so confused. How did you pick up and move across the world and start a whole new career when you were a celebrity? I was like, there's something wrong with this girl.
Did it
I don't
take you
get
a
it.
while
And look
to
at you.
figure out you wanted to do that?
The calling for wanting to work with the mind was, I knew it. I felt it. But
When did you know?
when I was around maybe like 34, I started to get this really like uncomfortable feeling. I was just talking to somebody about this the other day because she was feeling that as well. Like so lost in my life, because it was really scary to wake up one day and realize that everything I'd ever worked for, everything I thought I wanted, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't really, and I'm empty. I was so empty, but I was also tired. I'd performed, right? Since I was 6 years old, I was exhausted. I headed straight for burnout at 35, by the way, just so we're real. That's what it taught me.
Right.
Never having a rest day. So
Right.
at burnout, I really got to look at, wow, the strategy that I've been using here is not working. Let me look at the tools that I've used to win, to feel good inside. And that became the catalyst for just starting to study, from neuro-linguistic programming to hypnosis to meditation to mindfulness, and just kept adding. And I started over from scratch, and it was hard. And there were moments where I was like thinking, what am I doing? Like, I left this amazing, job and well-paid career and the luxuries that came with that to start over. But I would not change the thing. It's the best thing I've ever done, because the happiness that doing this job that I love so much, it's everything to me. I'm so
That's
grateful.
incredible.
I took the chance.
Congratulations. I think the one thing that you've helped me do in the past years, is manifestation. And we were talking about this morning, because we were thinking about goals that she wants to have, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, like, you could do it for a long time, but like if you fall off it for a little bit, your mindset does switch back, because I'll just like,
How'd you know what I was going to
call
say?
myself out and say like I've had like a negative mindset lately.
Yeah.
And I go back and I'm like, well, I haven't been meditating. I'm not listening to my hypnosis.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with anything, like going to the gym.
Yes.
But like it makes such a difference. And like when you're in such a good place for so long, I guess you take it for granted.
Yep.
But then once you like shift, it's like, oh shit. Like,
Yes.
But
it
also
makes a huge difference.
But I think
Yes.
also, like, people ask me all the time, how have I had a company for so long? But I've invested in myself
Yes.
by having coaches. And let me tell you, Camilla's my coach. And you know what? I would not be here, because this manifestation I didn't believe in. I was like, what? No, I'm not drawing a circle. It was way too much for me. And
Now you're telling me
I
of
know.
all these years.
Yeah, and then I would come back in and you read like, here we go again. And it was the constant.
Yeah.
And even when I didn't believe in myself, you believed in me.
Yeah.
And you would show me, look what you just did last year.
Yeah.
There's not very many coaches that take you back to where the year before and show me all the things I had just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should be proud of yourself.
Well, what I know for you is that both of you have made your mindset and working with your mind, going to the mind gym, a priority.
Yeah.
Even if you fall off for 2 weeks,
Right.
right? I always joke about what I don't like so much is a message from my clients saying, I felt so great. I've not meditated for 2
Right.
weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, get on it again.
Yeah.
Because we need to meditate a little bit all of the time,
Yeah.
or do mindfulness or breathing or something that's training our mind. Why? Because we we have a negativity bias in the brain.
Right.
And that will get to work the minute we let off. Like,
Right.
you know, it's the same as going to the gym. If you've not been back to yoga or
Yeah.
Pilates or running or anything for a while, you feel sluggish
Yeah.
in your muscles. It's the same thing. So even if you do 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes a day,
Right.
just to keep saying, hey, just reminder here, mind, like I'm working with you. You're
Yeah.
working with me. Not let the negativity bias take over, because it
Yeah.
will go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So the training is really important.
And I think it's very different to meditate on an app versus meditate at Unplugged, a meditation studio. To sit in there for 45 minutes definitely changed my life.
Should we talk about that?
Yes, please, let's talk
Can
about
I
that.
share what you did the very first time you meditated?
Or the first 20 times. I kept one eye open and she would be doing the class
And I'd be
and
like,
she'd be like, close your eyes, like motioning. And I'd be like, how did she see that, by the way? She has 50 people in this class.
I was like, why are you meditating with one eye open? You were like, I might miss something. But you were like, I can do 45 minutes now. I mean, in the beginning, I was wondering if that would ever happen. And it did
Yeah.
happen. You were like, no. I sent you a meditation, I think last year. It was, I can't remember, maybe it was like 8 minutes. You're like, Camilla, it wasn't even 10 minutes. It was so short for me. I was like, who's this?
I know. But don't you think that going to a meditation studio, it like ups
Yes.
the game?
Yes.
So by the way, everyone comes on here. A lot of people talk about meditation, but this is like a different level.
Yeah.
And it's, I know that you've worked there.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
I kind of want to hear more about that.
Yes. So I've worked in many studios around
Yes.
LA, since I arrived in this country. But I will say there's a power in sitting together in a group and going to that place together of meditation. And by the way, we're not going to go to a place where we switch all our thoughts off. We're going to go to a place where thoughts still come and go, but we choose to come back to one focus again and again.
Yeah.
Okay. So that power, I always say, even if you can go to, whether it's Unplugged Meditation or another studio where people meditate, if you can go there a few times and feel what it feels like, the power of a group, next time you go within at home on your own, it's going to feel, oh, okay. It's almost like we savor that feeling. We know where we're going to connect to consciousness. There's definitely power. And I mean, there's been so many people talking about the research of like having like people around the world meditating at the same time, and in big groups of thousands of people. And I truly believe it. I mean, it's all energy and consciousness, right?
Right.
I mean, we even when we do a meditation, just the three of us, it
Yes.
feels amazing, right?
Yeah.
I know. Boy, my parties have sure changed. Now
We used to
let's do a
dance on the
sound
table.
bath before dancing on the tables.
Can you talk a little bit about what a sound bath is and how that like affects the body?
Yeah. So one of my things that I love is hypnosis. So when I was thinking about other things that my clients could use to kind of access that theta state, which is a very relaxing state where you can access your subconscious mind, I really fell in love with singing bowls, sound baths myself, and I use it for my own self-care. So then I started using it as a practice with my clients, and each singing bowl has a frequency that's connected to one of your energy fields in the body. So you play one specific singing bowl, and it will be playing to the heart chakra, to the higher chakra. So it really, imagine that vibration. We all know the vibration. If you put water in a glass and you start to, touch that glass and circle, it starts to move. It's the same. So imagine we're mainly water, right? That water starts to shift in the body. Sound baths help balance the hemispheres in the brain, relax the nervous system. It actually, even beyond the sound bath, works. When you go to bed that night, you probably sleep more deeply. It's kind of like as if you've had a nice massage.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a mind-body kind of connection. I love sound baths.
Yeah.
That reminds me. So I wasn't really into sound baths back then, and you invited me to a retreat in Arizona, and I had no idea where I was going.
Yeah.
And it was to go into the new year, and so we went, and you guys did sound bath. It was freezing. They had these sleeping bags. It was honestly one of the coolest
Yeah.
experiences I've ever done in my life.
Same under
Yeah.
the moons and the
It
stars.
was it
Yeah.
was
It
incredible.
was amazing.
When are you doing that again?
Yeah, no, we were just talking about we need to do
Ooh.
that again. And
want
as
a
it hit
retreat.
midnight, we're all there on the star. It was
Yeah,
just
so nice.
magical.
And don't you do some classes with your husband Kevin?
Yes, I do sound baths in Palm Desert and sometimes in LA, different events. But yeah, it's magical how that's happened. We never set out to do
I was
that.
gonna say, how is it
Yeah.
working with your husband?
Do you know, it's actually, yeah, I mean, we get to practice everything that I teach. You know, you have to become really good communicators. You
Yeah.
have to know
Yeah.
your lane in your business too, and you have to really separate it from your day-to-day life. Like we
Yeah.
have, you know, our business meetings where that's what we're talking about. And if I start talking about that outside of work, Kev is like, we're having a chill time.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
very good at that, where
That's good.
the athlete in me sometimes will be like, well, can we not talk about that now? But we've really learned a lot about the boundaries around that. And I love working with him. We never planned that. It's just what happened.
I know,
Yeah.
that's
And,
amazing.
like, he runs my coaching business, and it's amazing.
And he was an actor too.
Yeah.
He was famous too.
Yeah, we both shifted
Isn't that
gears.
funny how that happened?
Yeah.
So happy doing that though. But I did look around recently when we were doing a sound bath, and it was funny because there was one lady she wanted to have her eyes open, which some people like to meditate with their eyes open. And she came
Really?
up to us afterwards and she said, I was watching you guys when you were doing the sound bath. She said it was fascinating. It was like choreography. And I was laughing because he kept he
funny.
would like nod to me, and then I would know I would play this one, and then he would nod, and then he'll have like the ocean drum. And it was like we were doing a dance.
Really?
And I was really finding it funny because obviously I used to perform all the time.
Right.
In fact, my professional partner is with me from dancing is with
I
me in
know.
LA.
And you know
today.
what? I want to hear all
He's
about
watching
him.
right now. He's with me, but it was like I was having a dance, but through music, and just
Yeah.
sort of, it was just so fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's jump to that. First of all, he's so cool. He like twisted me around, and I hope that we can learn a dance for my wedding. But how was it? How did you win so much with him?
So Ian and I, my professional partner, we ended up dancing together for 12 years.
Wow.
So
That's
I,
amazing.
time.
yeah, I spent my life being in like teams. I had a dance partner from when I was 2.5 to 8, and
That's
then the next one after
crazy.
that. And then I always say that with Ian, I feel like we both graduated because we were together 12 years, and then we transitioned for, professionally, and then we transitioned into best friends. So he's like family to me, and it's so fun that he could come to LA with me today and meet you guys as
Yay.
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. Wow. Well, gosh, you
And
have.
by the way, you asked how we won together.
Yeah.
We won because he's a fantastic dancer.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he twisted me around. I was like, I thought I was going to fly off the building. I'm like, I can't imagine. I'm much heavier than you. You must have been turning and like crazy.
I felt safe with him.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
could you feel that when you
Yeah.
were dancing with him?
Yeah.
He just got you.
He is
Yeah.
so cool. Wow. Okay, so there was one other thing. Okay, this is bugging me, by the way. I got to
Okay.
tell you.
What?
You usually have a lot of things, new things happening, and I was like, okay, what's next? What's next? I need something next with you. Like, I'd go to a book opening, or, I'm waiting for the next thing. What is it?
Well, who knows? I mean, yesterday was April Fool's, and I decided to put on my feed, senior pro pickleball. So who knows what's next?
Oh my God, please, pickleball's not my thing. I'm
pickleball,
still
I'm done.
pawning after my
That's
judging, not going to New Zealand, but I know there's always something next with you.
So you have 3 books. I was
Yeah.
wondering if you could just tell us like a brief summary of each one, and like what if someone's
Which one's your
going
favorite?
through something, which one should they be most drawn to?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Well, the first book, Dream, Believe, Succeed, is kind of like
This one?
autobiography. Yeah, it was called Strictly Inspirational when it first came out. And it was my life and the struggles through dancing and how I made it in that career, and then major heartbreak, how that completely broke me. It was very public. And it was a tough time, and how I understand now that was a gift from the universe, because I learned so much. And I use all of that, with my clients today. I can really resonate when they're going through a breakup.
Yeah.
Like, I can actually say, it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And know that it was okay, And the second book, Reinvent Me, really came from, moving countries, starting over, and literally reinventing myself. And then also my husband, who was an actor, who completely reinvented. I used many tools to do that, and I've shared them in the book. So it really is very much like a program. I like to give a lot of practical tools to clients so that they are self-efficient, or self-sufficient, not just when I'm there, but all of the time. So lots of tools, visualizations, meditations, and so forth in my books. And It's Not You, It's Me is my latest. And I love that one because it's about relationships with ourselves. There's a quote in there from Ram Dass that says, we're all just walking each other home. And I love that because even though, you say you've learned a lot from me, I've learned a lot from you. And this is from everybody I work with. And it really is like, we're all just walking each other home.
Yeah.
And that's so beautiful. And I love that I teach about self-awareness, self-care, self-acceptance, and so forth in there. And so I would say if you want to learn more and get in tune with the relationship with yourself, then It's Not You, It's Me is the one. And it then also the ripple out is that will affect every relationship around you.
Right.
When I learned to love myself, and I'm saying learn because I didn't, then it changed all my relationships.
Right.
And by the way, if anybody is like going through that phase where it's scary to kind of let go of friends that are no longer a fit or a relationship, that happens on the inward journey sometimes.
Yes.
You know this too, right?
Yes.
And I just attracted different people after that because I respected and loved myself. I fully knew suddenly my own enoughness, my own worthiness.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted to share in It's Not You, It's Me, because everything changed on the outside because it changed on the inside.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
And that's so true.
And then you have an app, Zen Me.
Yeah.
And there's certain courses on there.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about each course and like what it's about?
Yeah. There's a self-love course.
Yes.
Clearly.
I have taken that.
Yeah. Was it good?
I loved that course, yeah.
And then I wrote a course. I thought it was going to be a book, but I decided to put it out as a course, and it's been powerful what the feedback I've had about how to navigate life as a highly sensitive person.
Right.
And the feedback I've had has just been beautiful because there are people that have gone through their whole lives just thinking there's something wrong with me.
Right.
Right.
People say you're too sensitive, but it's it's a gift and can be a burden at times if we don't know how to handle it. So there's lots of tools of how to do that. It's done like 15 minutes a day meditation, so it's very easy to digest.
Yeah, I use it all the time when people come to me. I'm like, I'm not a therapist. Here you go. I love using this. I give tell everyone.
Yeah.
It's amazing tool
The app
for
is
sure.
amazing. And there's all your meditations on there.
All the meditations, the podcast that you were on.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a course for manifesting as well. I'm huge into like how to manifest and how that starts within your own frequency, energy, and all of that as well. So
yeah, that's a very good app. It's very helpful for sure.
I always think back to this one technique you taught me where you draw a circle.
yeah.
Can you explain that?
Reframing.
Yeah, reframing.
I use mind maps, and anybody can do that very quickly at any time at home. But it actually just, what I always say is that we have to offer up a different perspective for the brain.
Right.
Right. So if we're in sort of like a lockdown, as I call it, of like everything is just rubbish about a situation, it could be like you've been on a phone call and you're really upset. Grab a piece of paper, draw a circle, and in the circle, write phone call. All the feelings you're feeling around it, like I'm so upset, I feel disrespected, blah, blah, blah. Have a look at it and think, does this remind you of anything else that's happened in your life? What's in your control? And you kind of start to circle the things in your control, and you're thinking, well, I'm in control of this. I could decide to feel differently, right? Now take another piece of paper, draw another circle, put phone call. How would you have liked to feel instead? How would you want to feel now instead? Reframe it. I want to feel calm. I want to know that I'm enough. I want to respect myself. Like maybe I should have said something, or maybe I'm, there's something that I can learn here too. So the reframing, mind maps are a way of reframing, and I use them a lot, and it's a great tool.
And
I love this
Those
technique.
are great. And then let's go to the next thing. When you make me do that, so then when I go to that meeting that I don't want to go, I'm already saying I am going to have an incredible meeting.
Yes.
I am amazing.
Yes. Affirmations.
Affirmations.
They're huge, right? We've talked
Like
a lot
Sam's
about
favorite one of your morning affirmation. What is that one? Of you like walking and dancing?
I did that
Yes.
specifically
yeah.
for Sam.
For Sam.
Yes.
She sends it to
I
me all
love
the time.
that
She's like,
one.
you need to listen to
It's
this today.
Energy. It's like, all right, everyone up. You
Everybody
should have
up.
already had your coffee. I love that one. That's my kind of meditation. I'm like, it's the best.
It's a bit bossy, but
Yeah,
I like
it's
it.
the best.
Perfect.
And then sometimes I lose it. I'm like, where did that go? I need that one every day.
Yeah, it's like a motivational. But the thing is, like I said before, when we do affirmations or positive self-talk, it's direct orders to the subconscious.
Right.
So the subconscious will believe whatever you say. So if you say, oh, I feel tired, I'm sluggish, I can't do this, then you feel like you can't do it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if you feel like, I got this, I can do this. I've done many uncomfortable things in my life. I've done live TV, I've presented, I've done so many things where I thought, where's the exit? I want to run away.
Right.
But then I remembered, but also if you can accept that it's uncomfortable, but you can do uncomfortable, that's the secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm like,
Wow.
I can do this. It's uncomfortable.
100%.
It's not going to feel good, but I can still do it. You switch things.
Yeah.
And you know this. You live.
I know this.
She lives.
I
you
live
in
this.
the. You both
Yeah,
in
it's
the
true.
uncomfortable.
And she lives it now, and
Yeah.
even anyone that comes in elite lives it.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible journey with you.
Oh.
I can't even tell you.
I do have one more question.
Yeah.
So you work with a lot of clients around like learning how to trust.
Yeah.
How do you define trust?
It's my favorite. Trust is a choice. I think it's a very spiritual thing. I think it's when we can say, I've made a decision to believe that this is going to happen. It's the kind of sentence where they talk about believe it to see it,
Yeah.
not see it to believe it. That's trust. When
Yeah.
I choose, I'm going to choose, I'm going to move to America.
Yeah.
I'm going to make it happen.
Right.
One way or the other. That's trust.
Yeah.
And it's going to be okay. I make a decision to trust that,
Yeah.
right? Fully. I know that we've spoken a lot about that. I have gone through so many sessions with clients where I've done hypnosis on trust.
Yeah.
And it's trusting ourselves too.
Yeah.
Can I trust myself to do this? Can I trust myself to show up for this?
Yeah.
Even when it's difficult. So trust is really, really important. And it sometimes I say, when you feel like you can't trust, that's the moment you have to trust even more. When you think, oh, is this ever going to happen? Is this ever going to happen? Why hasn't it happened? Trust
but
more.
that's with certain things. But in relationships?
That's different. That's different.
I know. I just wanted to.
Yeah.
See, I've
Okay.
learned.
So in a relationship, trust again is a decision, because when I meet you, I'm not going to know if I can trust you or not. I might get a feeling, but I can choose to trust someone, right? I will say with all of the couples I've worked with, once trust is broken, it takes a lot of work to rebuild trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
And the last thing I have to bring up, because you used to always say this to me until I seriously couldn't breathe anymore. What does your intuition say? I'd be like, shut up. And now I like live by my intuition.
Yeah.
I read recently that our intuition tells us immediately what we need to know. After that, we're just negotiating with fear.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you have an extremely strong intuition.
Yeah, she does.
Nicole and
It's
I
annoying.
speak about this all the time. I mean, when we met, you
it's
knew we were
crazy.
going to be friends.
Yeah.
And that was that. There was like no
Yeah.
negotiating that.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess we're friends then.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's intuition is, but we have to turn some of the outside noise off and other
Yeah.
people's expectations sometimes. And that
Yeah.
could be family
Yeah.
expectations too.
Right.
To know your intuition, like we talked about guilt earlier, right? I had to turn off other people's expectation on me off to listen to my own intuition.
Yeah.
So this is where also getting quiet really helps
Yeah.
in meditation, just to kind of really listen to that. And for some people, intuition is more like a thought. Sometimes it's a gut feeling, or it can be like I have a feeling about this. You say this all the time,
Yeah.
right? I have a feeling about
I
it.
hate when I have a feeling about it
I
too,
know.
and I'm
It's so
always
annoying.
right. And sometimes she'll
Sometimes.
tell me something, I'm like, mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or someone else, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, don't be right. And then I
Yeah.
talk to you, and I'm like, damn it,
Yeah.
I was right.
I know.
Sometimes it's not always fun.
I know. And
But-
sometimes we ignore the intuition,
Yeah.
because this is what I always say in my meditation class when we talk about chakras and intuition. The intuition is telling you what you need to know, but sometimes you don't want to hear it.
Yeah. For sure.
Right? I did not want to hear, after spending 35 years doing this
Yeah.
job, that I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, no, my intuition is definitely not working at the minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Error.
yeah,
That's true.
that's true. I think the listeners have one big question. you know, and that is surrounded by hypnosis,
Right.
you know. So
Yeah.
you want to ask her?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like if someone's going into hypnosis, I know people can be fearful around it because
Yeah.
there's some negative
Yeah.
beliefs around that. So what would you say to someone who like hasn't really had an understanding for what hypnosis is, and where should they start?
Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. So the reason why I spend so much time talking to my clients before we do hypnosis is because I actually create the script as such, the words that I'll
Yeah.
use from what they tell me.
Right.
So it's like you're speaking
That
to
is-
yourself.
I do love that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's so powerful when those words are read
Yeah.
back to you in that
In the way that
relaxing
you
state.
said it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And so I think people watch like stage hypnosis and think, oh gosh,
Yeah, I think
am I
that's
going to
what
jump
it is.
around, you know, like sound like a chicken, whatever. No, nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. You have full power over your own subconscious mind.
Yeah.
And obviously work with people that you feel safe and
Right.
with. I always say that I don't care who you know, I connect with. If I'm not for them, they must go find the one
Right.
that they feel connected with. That is the
Yeah.
most important, that you feel safe and connected,
Yeah.
right? Always
100%.
priority number one. And yeah, it's kind of just like a guided meditation. You know,
Right.
sometimes you can hear it, sometimes you might take a nap, sometimes you notice what they're saying. But if you fall asleep with the TV on, whatever is on the TV will go into your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
That right there is
That's crazy.
hypnosis.
Thinking about it.
So I have a question about like if you're watching like I don't know, for example, if you're like really like horror movies and like you're watching that all the time.
that's a good one.
You think that affects your subconscious mind into thinking like maybe a negative belief on life?
It
Yeah,
depends on your
that's
sensitivity,
interesting.
I think. Because I have clients that will tell me that, Camilla, I can't watch scary films
Me
because they
either.
really like upset
Right.
not just my mind, but my body, like the nervous system. So I think, again, listen to yourself. Some people, I think maybe Sam, like you might not be affected. I don't know. Some,
No, I am
yeah.
so affected. I
you
hate
are?
scary movies.
Are you sensitive?
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I'm
Right.
telling you, I cannot watch
But that's
scary
just an
movies.
example. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
No.
because I think about like the music we listen to and growing
That-
up, like a lot
Yes,
of the music
that's
was
a great
like,
question.
fuck, I mean, I don't like to cuss, but like fuck bitches, get money, all that shit, you
Yeah.
know? And that's what you're listening to.
Yes.
So does that affect your mentality on life?
I believe that frequency matters because we've just talked about the singing bowls,
Right.
right? And that has a frequency. There's a lot of research that will show you what different kind of frequencies can affect your mind. There's a lot more research on that now. There are lots of research on, there's a track called Weightless, which is amazing. And I think the research they showed was that listening to that track by Marconi Union, I think it lowers anxiety by 65%. I think the
Wow.
research showed in 3
Wow,
minutes
that's incredible.
or something like that.
That
right?
reminds me of the TikTok that's going around right now. Have you heard of like "Ring My Bell"? That new song, or it's
Yeah,
a really
it's
old
old
song.
It's an old
It's
song,
old
yeah.
song.
Everyone on TikTok is saying it's like a frequency that like makes you really happy.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but we
Interesting.
don't need to go any further than that, right?
Yeah.
You
Right,
know
that's
for
cool.
yourself, if you
Yeah.
put on a track that makes you feel good, you put another one, I feel a bit funky. Like, listen to yourself.
Yeah.
I believe that frequency matters, whether that's whatever it is that we're watching or listening
Right,
to.
yeah.
And I choose to watch and listen to things that make me feel good,
Yeah.
you know?
Wow, this has been unbelievable, of course. I mean, our listeners have so much to listen to. They're going to re-listen to all of this.
I'm so
You're
proud
just
of
a
the two of
fact
you.
knowledge.
I'm so proud of the two of you.
Don't make me cry.
I'm so happy you're here. This has been
Yeah.
amazing.
I mean, amazing. I mean, your
Yeah.
journey, just to watch you in the last 12 years, incredible.
And I've
Ditto.
known you since I was really young. I don't know. My first memory of you is in that one house in Woodland Hills.
With
and you
the
had
thing.
all these crystals out, and I was like,
The
is my mom
chakra.
okay? Something happening here? And then I walk in, I think it was before high school, probably middle
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
And then I was like so drawn to it. I was like, wait, this is so cool.
I
And
know you
remember
were
I wanted to follow
obsessed.
you around the house.
Yeah. She's like, can I
Yeah.
ring the thing, play
Yeah.
the singing bowl? Yeah, that was the first time.
That was first time.
And I've watched you grow and become the manager at Elite. It's just been amazing.
It's been an amazing journey.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you for
much,
having me.
Camilla.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And where can they find you if they want to read one of your books or find your meditation app?
On zenme.tv
Perfect.
or on Instagram.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.